Well, welcome, Kenneth Hauger. Kenneth, you're the Chief Commercial Officer and also co-founder at Elywhere. We've met each other many times in the Norwegian market. We wanted you to come on and talk a bit about your product, as you often do when we visit you in Norway. And the reason we're particularly interested to talk to you today is that obviously globally, roadside retailers, the people we work with, are rolling out fast chargers, to their network. But there are often big connections, big issues with grid connections across many countries, and also big delays in putting fast chargers in the ground. And this is often where our conversation starts when we visit you in Norway, Kenneth. But first of all, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Dan. Yeah, that is actually a big issue. Earlier, it was a big issue the further down in or southern down in Europe you came, but now these days this is also a big problem even in Norway and the Scandinavian countries. So Norway is a country that are self-sufficient when it comes to energy, and we even sell energy out to European countries. But the grid is weak. So the past few weeks here in Norway, we have been informed through the media that there are lack of energy in the grid, and the capacity is very low, and we can expect a stop of larger hubs to be established until 2035. So it's a big issue, and it's a big problem in the Nordic countries, in Europe, and also especially in the United States. So the demand for EV and charging and demand for energy in total is too high compared to what too high for the grids to handle, actually. So it's a big problem, and that's also where we come in. When we started this project back in 21, me and Anders, who founded the company, it was the main purpose was to, let's say, give people the possibility for supercharging in more rural areas where you couldn't have that much energy available. But what we see now, it have turned a little bit, because now there are big problems with energy in all markets. So that means that big CPOs that are building out larger hubs, they have to wait. Yeah, I can first of all speak for the Scandinavian countries, but as I said, many years now a waiting period in the Norwegian countries. In Sweden, it's 5 years. In UK, it can be up to 5 years. So it's a very, very big challenge, and I would say critical for the build out of the charging infrastructure.
I think critical is the right word. Obviously, there's a bit of a bottleneck in terms of charging, and it's absolutely vital that customers have the reassurance that they can charge, without necessarily too much trouble, when they're out on the road. Tell me about your solution for this big problem, Kenneth, and what you're doing.
Yeah, first of all, for those who haven't seen it, we have something that we define as a rapid deployed supercharger. It have the same footprint as a 20-foot container, 6.5 meter long, 2.4 meters wide, and 2.8 meters high. It contains batteries, 300 kilowatt hours of battery storage in the standard unit. But what we do is that we require less energy from the grid than anyone else. So we do a combination of energy from the grid and the energy from the batteries. That's actually the key point for our solution. And also, since it's based on a platform, it's rapid deployed. That means that you can put it close to anywhere. You need to have electricity. You need to have a minimum of 400 volt and 63 amps. That's the minimum. But you can go up to 630 and so on. But you can place it close to anywhere you want. So it's meant for not only rural areas, but let's say industrial areas, close to convenience stores, to shopping malls and centers where people are, and in the areas where people are with their EV cars and maybe would like to have a charging session. Think about it, when it comes to 50 kilowatt chargers, and you go into a convenience store and to buy something, and you are there for 20 minutes, when you get out of there, you haven't charged anything. But if you have a supercharger of up to 150 kilowatt of charging, you are into the shopping center, you are there for 30, 40 minutes. And when you get back, you are at 80%. So it's a big difference.
Absolutely. And how long does it take to install the Elywhere charger system?
Yeah, that's one of the things that we are proud of. It doesn't take a long time from you order it from us and we receive a PO. It will take six to 8 weeks, and we deliver it. And when we have delivered it, we also have our engineers that are with us in the installation process and doing the commissioning and fat test. But 4 to 6 hours after installation, it's up and running, and you can get paid from your first customers.
Very good. And one of the big questions I think we always ask when we come and visit you with retailers is, how long does the battery last? Is it depleted quite quickly?
This depends on how much power you get in from the local grid and how many are charging. It's as easy as that. But people are thinking that this is kind of a long story, Dan, and but I think maybe it have to be told, because the average battery in a car is, let's say, not more than 50 kilowatt. That's the average.
Yep.
Only the big BMWs, they have 100, and so on, the Teslas. But the Teslas, they go charge at Teslas. So that means that when a car which have 50 kilowatt hours of charging capacity in the car are going to charge, they are at 5, 10, or 15. And they are not going up to 80, because today people know that it takes the double time to go from 80 to 100 than it takes from 0 to 80. So that means that they have an average of close to 30 kilowatt they are charging. And
Yep.
that takes only kind of 40 minutes. So that means that you can have a lot of cars charging, because you still will have when the battery are starting to drain, they will still get the energy from the grid.
So, I mean, I suppose what we could say without, a longer format interview on this question is that you're having a lot of success with your customers, aren't you?
Yes, I would say so. We do have, and we have a lot of interest all over the world from on our product. And we have a great partnership together with Circle K, and we have other customers on board, and we are also in process with a lot of large customers that can't name for the moment. But yes, they like the product, they like the mobility of the product, and also, of course, the time frame from ordering until making business on it. That's, I think, will be the most important thing for everybody. Needs to get the payment down on their investment, and I think that it's very difficult to compare with us when it comes to that time to market and when you earn money.
Well, I'd like to say congratulations to you and your co-founder on this great business, Kenneth. And I know from the reaction of our customers when we come to you, how interested they are. So I'm sure you've got a lot of interesting prospects ahead, not just of course in the Nordics, but globally. So thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you very much.